How are you doing, everyone? This is Extreme Foolishness TV. This is where we talk about extreme foolishness that goes on around you. I'll be talking today about Will and Jada, the red table talk between Will and Jada. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about it, but I just wanted to give my take about the whole situation between Will and Jada. Will and Jada have been married for 25 years or so. And I guess a couple of years, Jada went out and had some kind of relationship with August. August came on an interview and said that Will gave him his blessing. So they appeared on the Table Talk interview, and there are certain things that jumped up to me. Will and Jada said they were going through a difficult time in their relationship, and Will was that I wanted each of them to have their space, and he said, "Hey, Jada, you go figure yourself out, and I'll go figure myself out," and just to see, because they were going through a difficult time. Jada, on the other hand, said she likes to give healing to people, and that she ran into August. He was sick, and August came to her, and she's been abused as a child, and she likes to give healing to people, to comfort people. So I'm like, what type of healing? Are we talking about the Marvin Gaye type healing? The sexual healing? So she gave that sexual healing to August, and it lasted for a while, and August just cut her off. August went cold turkey on her. And after that, she had not talked to August for all these years before August had the interview, and she wanted to address it. So she describes it as having an entanglement with August.
You need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes.
I guess, a web. I've heard of single, married, divorced. I've heard of confused, complicated. So Jada's onto something here in that, she has created a new genre of relationships, the entanglement type of relationship. So she's onto something here. It's also important that Jada and Will seems to have a life partnership. And they said, I think Will said he had comfort knowing that he had a relationship with Jada where he didn't feel like he had to make a mistake and lose his family. Like, how many couples can say that your partner is with you and you're with your partner, and either of you don't feel that you have to make a mistake, and after that mistake the relationship is over, or where the other party or the other person is ready to leave at the slightest infraction. I think they have something going on here. So I kind of think a lot of relationships can learn from Will and Jada. Also, I think Jada says she wanted to feel good about herself, and that when she went outside, she found that she can only find happiness within herself. And I think that is powerful. A lot of people going through relationships thinking they're going to find happiness in that other person. But happiness comes from within. You should not look for happiness from somebody else. If you don't have it from within, it may never come. And she just said she wanted to feel good. So I don't know whether Big Willie was not making her feel good, and she decided that August was going to make her feel good. So Big Willie, what's going on here? So anyway, she also said that she has found that she's learned a lot about herself. And I think that's very, very powerful, that she's learned a lot about herself. A lot of people sometimes or relationships, it takes you breaking apart, or not even breaking up, giving yourself some space to go entangle with other people to bring each other together. I know it sounds counterintuitive that why do you have to be apart to come together? But sometimes that might be what relationships need based on what Will and Jada are onto. And Will said he didn't believe that he would be with her or he would be back together. He thought it was over and that this was the test, knowing that someone rides with you no matter what. So it looks like this is the test of the relationship. And they said that they were going to be with each other till death do them apart. So how many relationships can say that? Like, I'm willing to stick with this person till death do them apart, irrespective of what that other person may do. Like, we have this covenant or we have this agreement and we're not going to leave each other no matter what the other person does. I can be open. A lot of people are in relationships where they're not even open. They're scared to be themselves because they're thinking the other person may leave. You know, I think it's a very, very powerful thing knowing that you can be yourself. You can have no secrets. Just like they said, you can have no secrets. Tell the other person how you feel without fear that that person is going to leave or you're going to lose your family. And I always have the belief that reasonable people can always work through things. You see a lot of divorces where they fight over a dog. They can't even agree on what time to have visitation for the kids. They can't agree on anything. Reasonable people can always agree and work things out. I think Jada and Will look like they're the type of couple that will always work something out because they just have this unconditional, I guess you can call it love with each other, that or unconditional agreement, a life partnership. They don't call it a marriage, that we're gonna be with each other till death do them apart. So I think that's very, very powerful. I also think that Will said he now believes he can love her through anything. So it's important that, do you think a lot of relationships will be able to survive what Will and Jada have gone through? Or are they quick to go and file for divorce and fight for 2-3 years in divorce court, paying attorney's fees and hating each other? And you wonder, how do you go from wearing the wedding gown, the flowers, the pigeons, the food, the kisses, the first dance, to I hate you, I want you dead? I was in court once and a judge said he lost count. He stopped counting at 50 when divorces, where one party in a divorce had killed the other person. So just think about it. He stopped counting at 50 because it was too traumatic for him to keep counting. So when you have reasonable parties like Will and Jada who have agreed to unconditionally love each other, I think a lot of couples should take that and learn from that. I know people would think that it's a crazy relationship, but they are still together. And if you look at the divorce rate is over 50%. I heard it's close to 70% in the United States because people are so quick to throw in the towel. So I think Will and Jada are onto something here. It's also interesting to know that Will said that, I guess Jada said Will did not give her the permission or give August the permission to be with Jada. That's a misconception. But August never said Will gave him the permission to be with Jada. August only said Will gave him his blessing. That's the difference between permission and blessing. Permission would be August asking Will, hey, can I have Jada? Can I entangle with Jada? And Will saying yes. It's different. Blessing would be August and Jada being entangled with each other, Will finds out and say, hey, I bless this entanglement. It's two different things. So do not confuse permission with a blessing. So overall, I think Will and Jada are onto something. I think couples should learn that you can work through things. You can have a life partnership with somebody, or marriage, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Once you take that vow to be with that person, you can always be with that person. Do not throw in the towel at the slightest infraction from the other person. Work with each other, agree, be open, don't keep any secrets, love each other unconditionally. And if the other person goes away and get entangles with somebody, just like the prodigal son went away and came back, and his family celebrated, you can welcome them back with open arms and say, you know what? I'm going to love you unconditionally. This is Extreme Foolishness TV. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and also click the bell notification. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Will and Jada are onto something, and other couples should learn from loving each other unconditionally, even if the other person entangles with somebody else? Or do you think this relationship between Will and Jada is a strained relationship? I would like to know what you think. Let me know. Thank you for watching Extreme Foolishness TV. Cheers.